Hi guys, it's Mark from France, and yes, I get one UFRC GROWLER. The first time I see this truck, I was immediately in love with it, not with this cage. The buggy version, you can see on our RCMZ, but they stopped the buggy version and you can get only the scale buggy version. I prefer the buggy version from the look, but what's cool on the scale looking truck is the cage, because the cage covers the front suspension system, the rear, the ESC, all is really good protected in this truck. I'm not such a freak from the front from the car. It's maybe a little bit too small when you check out the brightness from the buggy, from the whole cage. But now I see it 3 to 4, 5 times by doing the videos in French and German. I'm going to be used at it, and aesthetic is anytime a personal thing. So I'm not so totally freak from the aesthetic, but I'm a freak from what the whole truck can bring. It's a two-wheel drive, 1.6 kg, really fat wheeled. It's made to take some hits, to be durable, and it has also mechanical strange, new, never seen things. It was developed exactly only for brushless, and they do it really good. You have a really fast way to change the lipos. The lipo is super protected. It's all clean in the truck. You have no wire laying around. All it's clean. When we will see when I put the panel away, all is easy access in the truck, and all is overbuilt. So first I put the hood away to check what's up with the front mount from the body. You know, I'm not the guy who laying around hours and hours and hours on the internet to check any plane, any videos, any comment about the car. I saw this truck for 2 years ago on a video in China. I was really interested by it, but I waited to see what happened with the truck, if it will be so good that they say. And now I have the chance that this truck is arrived in Europe by Esc Online. This is a German shop where I take my big scale stuff for FG and Lozi and this one. What's cool is in Europe you have 2 years warranty, so that's a cool stuff. I take the car, I put it out from the box, and for those who know me, you know I'm a suspension freak. I love suspension travel and smooth suspension, and that's the first thing I check when I get the car out from the box, and that's the first thing where I'm a little bit concerned. I know I have to drill up the pressure on the springs, but you know what I mean? That's strange. The truck hooks down. It's really strange feeling on suspension. You have the feeling you have no suspension, just it's down. I'm gonna put more pressure on the springs. Look what happened. You also hear that we have many here in the suspension. Maybe I'm gonna open it to check what happens in there. You also have way more suspension travel in front and rear. The chassis is higher in the front than is in the rear, but you cannot go more higher in the rear. You at the maximum point, and you cannot adjust the front. They have done no screw to put the front a little bit down, and the fact is here is that at its maximum point you cannot drive easily a truck that way because it will be bumpy. You need, when all is in the truck, to go 20-30% down, so you have a cool laying down truck. And when you do it in this, you will see the ride height is low, but in that big scale will be maybe way enough. I prefer that at the MCD RR5 you have such a ride height, it's monstrous. I love it. That's also something I don't really like at the DBXL. The suspension travel I was not happy with. I love extremely the HPI Baja two-wheel drive because of that. It's the best suspension system on a two-wheel drive you still have now on the market. The Baja is something you can take. Maybe the first Baja I see was for what's 50 years ago now. Is that exactly 50 years ago? And since then, no other brand has done such a good suspension, the HPI Baja. FG make a new, because you have the old motor and the HPI and the FG Baja. You can get it in four-wheel drive and two-wheel drive. Suspension travel was a catastrophe. You have really 1/8 scale shocks and this 1/5 scale. Now they done the Leopard in the front cross with better suspension. You can all the alloy derivative of that FG, that means Elcon, Trax and some other few brand, but it's all based on the FG technology. And now we get this one at two-wheel drive. It's compact, it's a really tough build. They done this buggy to be really durable, and that's how I take it, and then that's how we will see that. On road, the best car I have on road is my FG. With my FG on-road truck, even a 12S, I have a FG truck in 18S on-road. I drive now a year without any problem. Do nothing, just clean it after run, a little bit oil left and right, and that's all. And I hope to get here a two-wheel drive with the same thing, because that's also why I'm happy with my X-Max, because I can drive it really a year before doing any service at this truck. He holds on really good. Not so good is clear like the Losi 5T. Also a truck I really love, but I also really love two-wheel drive. We have even an ADAS system in ZTW Beast Pro 200. 56 maybe 92 millimeter 680 kV motor. The truck is about to weigh 10 to 12 kilograms when it's ready to run. So we will see if 8S will be enough. Maybe if it's more on the 12 kilo, I gonna put 500 kV in 12S. I'm gonna put this system in my FG Baja two-wheel drive. I have here an old FG Baja two-wheel drive. The cool stuff on the FG Baja is that he's super light. Maybe I can go 8 to 9 kilograms with the FG Baja of the same size. Only 8S will be enough then in this truck. And in this little baby I go to 12S. But we're gonna first check it out stock. I'm gonna drive it stock out from the box, just adjust the suspension, and we'll see what happens. So, now we're going more through the technical stuff. Put the cage away. You have 3 pins on each side to put away. Then just lift back and hook it out from the front. The hook in the front is really beefy. The whole cage is super beefy. The nylon from the cage feels really better than the DBXL one, but the DBXL is way heavier than that truck. You have light system here. You can put 4 LEDs in each lamps. You have here in the back 2 big and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smalls in the rear. Maybe I'm gonna make some modification at the hood. For my opinion, the hood is a little bit too bright when you check at the rest from the truck, or I miss here something at the rear from the truck. Maybe you're gonna put some wing here or something, and I will check it out when I have painted if I'm gonna cut it the side out for make the hood a little bit lighter from the optic. You also get in the truck, you get underneath tray to not destroy your chassis plate when you're driving outside. The sticker sheet looks like toy. The sticker sheet is bad. Seriously, looks like a big toy car. I know it's a big toy car, but it's too toy. I'm not gonna use that. And here you have it. Esc Mount, clean on the top here, away from the heat from the motor, away from the battery, and in the air take from the car. That's really cool. It's a two-wheel drive, so you will have no thing sand from the front wheels. That's usually what the issue we have with four-wheel drive, because we have the front tire spinning so much that you hit all the car with gravel and sand and mud. Here you will not have this issue. That's a cool thing. Battery case is huge. Just have two here, left and right, two hooks to open, and then you can open the battery tray. The battery tray are really super big. Chain says 8080 LiPo. Just fold in. You have more room than that. Also in the high, you can get to 196 millimeter long, 53 bright, and 85 high. So that means you can put here also two 6S with any problem. For those who want to drive 6S parallel, to have 6S with double runtime, you can put 8S battery up to 10 or 12,000 milliamps maybe in the truck. If they not have put the center here, you have a center brace in this box. Without the center box brace, you will be able to put 12S 12,000 in there. Maybe that's what's gonna happen. So you have two holes underneath to put the wire out. Take care if you have that system here. That means on the battery you will have also to, from that stuff, to not, by pulling out, normally you cannot, but take care to not touch the chassis. I'm gonna put EC5 or EC8 connectors in the truck, is clear, and I'm not gonna go underneath here to put my wires out. Maybe I just gonna make some two holes here from the side to get the battery wires directly. The motor is a stock round motor, just in a big cooling here, in a big cooler. That's nice, and you also can put, maybe, if I check it how it works, if I see here, you have here a wire hole. That means you can put a fan in the top of the motor. That's clearly something I want to check. The servos, you can put two servos here underneath the battery tray. I'm a little bit concerned because when I see here the size, maybe I just gonna put 1/6 scale servos in and not 1/5 scale. I really prefer to put 1/5 scale servo in, but I will maybe not be able to modify this to put 1/5 scale servo, so I'm gonna order two 1/6 scale servos. I have not such servo here. That's also something I'm a little bit concerned. When I order the truck, I see nowhere the specs from the servo can get in, so take care. If you take one, take two 1/6 scale servos. Not a big deal. Suspension is also something you've never seen on an RC. To make a not so high shock tower, they make a different shock cap, so they can make a smaller shock tower, so the cage can be more down on the truck, and that's a really nice idea. 8mm shock shafts, that's crazy. When you take it this way, you see, it works really fine, but when the whole truck is on the weight, it's strange. Beefy CVD and Beefy CVD Excel. You have here, we're gonna take the merger. I guess this is 5 or 6 millimeters. 6mm drive shaft pins. Totally crazy. Big bearings and all the stuff. The bearings are not waterproof. It's double Z bearings, but it's not a concern at such a big scale because it's not waterproof. But It's also really fast clean and also really fast re-oiled. The on-off knob, that's strange, is here back down in the shock tower between, is really protected, that's cool. And what I'm not checked is, have we a really good and fast access to that stuff? And the answer is yes. You can really fast go to the knob here, that's a good idea. You have also in the rear a downlight here. Maybe you can put some, if you take a module, you can have these top lights. I think it would be a great idea to put here a stop light in the top, the position light, and here the stop lights. In the front bumper you also have two more places for 2 LEDs per side. Looks really nice, that stuff. The bumpers are directly attached, bolted with 4mm screws or 5mm screws on the chassis. Maybe if you land here it would be a hard hit, but you have here a fat alloy part bolted to the chassis. You have here a brace to protect the diff case. In the front you also have something I would like to see by Losi on this Super Rock and Super Baja array. Please Losi, can you do that for us? Twice front plate on the chassis to not bend the chassis in the front and really protect the front. This is important because it's two-wheel drive. You only have the rear wheel who will stops when you brake, when you hit the brakes, and anytime a two-wheel drive and something goes wrong with the braking, when you brake too late, it's the front who hits up. Here you have two super beefy arm holder made from alloy. You have a super beefy front. Look at this top plate here for fix the front arms. They are also super beefy. And the strangest thing on this truck is that one. You have here the suspension laying on a bridge. You see? It's really strange. Really want to see what happened on the field, if this worked really well, like they say that it works. And the only thing I don't like is that, look, when I go down, the suspension stop. You have still 2 cm of suspension trouble, but you cannot use it. So you're gonna think, stop, it's not an issue because you can use it when you go sideways. And nope, look at, you are stopped, it's blocked. You cannot use that one, and if you push it down to go down, you will squeeze something at the steering. That's for me, I'm a car mechanic, and for me this is strange. Because what happens here is that when the suspension goes down here, you see, this part touch here and stops the suspension trouble. You can go down, but he squeeze here this little alloy plate or steel plate is only 2 mm steel. Look what happens. I can absolutely bend it. The whole thing move out, and I'm really not able to use the full suspension trouble. Looks strange here on the table. We'll see what happens when we drive. I hope it will be fine and we have no issue with that steering. The Ackerman plate is a plastic part to heat, to not take too much heat. This stuff can be bent. And the other thing you must know, maybe if you really think that the Ackerman plate made from plastic is strange, is because you have 2 servos. You have one left, one right, you have 2 servo savers, so the Ackerman plate is not really useful. It's just to put all together. But you can put this Ackerman plate away and drive with 1 servo left and right without any problem. That's why you don't need here a fat alloy plate for the Ackerman plate. I really love this this layout from the truck here. It's all super clean. You have 6 screws to put away, to put the battery box away, 8 screws to put the whole axle away here in the back, and then only 5 to get to differential and motor. I gonna open it. The video will be made in French, but you can have the picture and the image when I do it. The run video will surely arrive only 2021 because I have no more time and I have to order my 2 servos here. Once I have seen what really fits in on servo, so we're gonna see what's really that motor is. If you here we're gonna put a fan in, it's clear, and we're gonna check out how is constructed the differential, if it's an LSD differential or a stock differential. The oil feels pretty thick now, but it's a heavy truck with hard, it's really hard tires. These are Rowan tires, but it's clearly the same design as the Pro trenches. It also feel like the same rubber like the Pro trenches, but it feels really hard. I'm not a freak from such hard tires on off-road, especially with such a small suspension trouble. You have really just only 2 to 3 centimeters to go down, but it's a big truck. So we're gonna see what happened with that truck. The first video I see from that truck was a Chinese guy who sent the truck from the first floor out on the ground, but not on grass. He put it down on the pavement. They go upstairs, downs, and the truck has really no issue with that. So I'm gonna check out what happened. I want to drive about 20 minutes. Top speed, I don't need to go fast. Maybe a little 70-75 kilometers an hour is way enough for such a truck. Even if I only reach the top speed from the X-Max, it's 65 kilometers an hour. You're not 56, no, 65. I gotta see. So between 65 and 75 kilometers an hour will be way okay for me. A run time about 12 minutes. If I can reach that with the stock equipment, I will let the stock equipment in the car. But if the battery becomes to be hot because it's too high amp draw or something, I don't not concerned about the motor. This one with this cool heatsink will be okay. That's the name I was searching before. This heatsink, not the cooler, the radiator. So, and the other thing I will do is to maybe gonna make that truck brighter. Last step I want you to know is that one. These are not 24mm hexes. You have only a 6mm screw and a really short screw here. I'm gonna drive it with red Loctite on it, it's clear, to hold the tire on place. You have no threads here, you see. And what's cool is you have a stock 10mm output here, so I'm gonna put something to make the truck maybe bright. I'm gonna drive it stock, but I really like the look a little bit brighter. I really think that the tires are too narrow on the body, but we're gonna give, maybe after the paint job we're gonna have a better idea from what it looks like. I also don't know what color we take this for this one. I have here already green, orange, and some stuff. I don't know what color I will do. Oh, I want to check. So, UFRC Stadium truck is ready to rumble. Hey, looks like really cool. This is a Jeep body for the X-Max, unbreakable version. I also like that. It's also way lighter this way, but you have to do something to mount the body on the truck underneath, and I will see. Tell me what you think about the truck, if you like the way he looks, if you not like it. If you think that 8S will be enough in this truck. For those who have one, please feel free to comment. Give me, tell me what have you, how many times did you drive the truck? How did you drive? Did you drive cool? Did you drive hard? Did you jump? What is your issue with breakdown? No breakdown? Is the 8S system perfect in the truck? Is it toolless? I want to know all what happens to you, and or not. If nothing happens, that's really cool, because that means the truck is just perfect, like he comes out from the box, and that's how I expect. I will drill up my suspension pressure here, my shock spring pressure, to see what happens with this stock suspension. I'm gonna order the 2 servos when I will see what size of servo I can take it for it, and finally gonna drive. Because before I do all that, this is my truck. For me, I have many tests for doing on the 5T. Don't forget, I use the 5T 20 kilograms for the setup. From the Reminator will be 40 kilograms. So we're gonna test many setups for this truck, and when we're gonna be happy about 65-70 kilometers an hour with 20-minute run times is what we reach. That's the goal we want to reach. We're gonna put 2 from this setup in the Reminator, but in the Reminator we're not gonna drive that speed. We're gonna get to 50-55 kilometers an hour in the Reminator, will be way enough. I just want to make 2 60S setups, and then the driver gonna drive it only 12S. So we have plenty of room with heat, with power, with stress on the transmission and all the stuff. And if it's not enough, we just can hook 2 batteries more on the truck and drive it really faster. But maybe that's never gonna happen. Bye guys.